Hello everyone, I am Will, and welcome back to my playthrough of Dark Souls 2, Skull of the First Sin. Yep. Last we left off, we finished up the Shrine of Amana. Yep. Wasn't not much of the shrine left as I thought. I thought it was like a little a fourth section, but nope. There's only three, and we did that one last episode. Yep. Started off at the bonfire at I think the Roy's Rest Site bonfire, I think it's what it's called. Hold on. Now I'm curious. Roy's Resting Place, yes. Okay. Probably the same Roy as Roy the Explorer, but... Yeah, so we start off at that bonfire, cleared out the little corrosive bugs, and then we summoned Felicia the Brave. Yep. We summoned her just to kind of help us out on the next little section. Yeah, because the next section is pretty dangerous. There's two of the Drake warriors, a few of the maidens, sorceresses kind of spread out around like a little arena type thing. There's one healer in the middle, which could definitely make things troublesome. Yep. And all that's in quasi deep water, so your movement speed's kind of slowed a little bit. Yeah, so everything combined, having Felicia the Brave definitely helps out. Yeah, just more so you can kind of have her distract the warriors as you go after the healer, and then you probably take out the sorceresses along the way. But yeah, she's definitely helpful for in that little section. Yeah, so we cleared her out, or we summoned her. Used our bow and arrows to take out one of the sorceresses as well as the healer in the back. Yep. And then we took out our spear and we just charged in. Yep. And then after realizing there were some more spellcasters, we just kind of focused on them. Accidentally got onto the little path forward, triggering the NPC invasion of Peculiar Kindred, I think is what his name is. Yeah, he's another spellcaster type who casts hexes. I'm pretty sure he also does pyromancies as well, but I think he focuses on hexes. Yeah, so luckily we cleared them all out. Relatively straightforward. I think it was a little touch and go here and there, but with Felicia's help, we did clear them all out. Yep. And then after that, we just kind of went around and looted the items in the area. There was the Red Iron Twin Blade, I think it was a Petrified Dragon Bone, the Homing Crystal Soul Mass. I think those were the two biggies, or the three biggies. I think the rest of it was either soul items or life gems or stuff like that. So, defeating the enemies, defeating Peculiar Kindred. After all that, we desummoned Felicia the Brave, and then we kind of pressed forward a bit. Because at that point, there was no more enemies ahead of us, so we're just gonna continue forward, picking up items along the way. If there was one item left, that was a torch or something like that. Yep. Then we came upon a hut. Inside the hut was another Milf Finito. Oh, this one looked kind of ragged. Yeah, she's been through some stuff. That last one. Yeah, so we just talked to her, kind of sent her back to where she came from. And then, after that, I'm trying to remember what we did. Well, after interacting with that Milfinito, we did eventually go back to the first one at the beginning, see if that had any dialogue from her, but she didn't. No, she didn't. So, yeah, since we didn't do that, since she didn't have anything new for us, we went back, fought our way through that little encounter again, although this time we did get cursed on purpose just so I can open up a door later on. So I should have waited till after the boss fight, but hindsight's 2020. Yeah. So we were cursed, so we couldn't summon Felicia the Brave, so I had to fight through that encounter again, although I'll probably just skip through that in the episode. And then after all that, came upon the boss fog, and we took on the Demon of Song. Yep, the Demon of Song, who isn't too hard. He does hit pretty hard if you let him, but otherwise he's pretty straightforward, pretty slow, easily. His attacks are well telegraphed. So we shouldn't have too much problems. I just got a little careless here and there, allowed him to hit us and almost kill us. Like I think we had like a less than 100 HP left. No way to know for sure because Dark Souls 2 doesn't have a. It doesn't tell you what your current HP is at. It just tells you your max. So I just had to guess. But we're just gonna stay in front, hit it with the spear, hit it with some lightning spears. When we decided to turtle up, we busted out our toxic mist to inflict toxic on it, just so we can have some damage while it's in its little shell. Yep. And we just kind of took it slow. Yeah, just kind of slow and steady. And then we eventually did beat it. And by beating it, you get its soul, as well as the key to the embedded. Yep. The key to the embedded is needed to free the Milfinito back in Drangelic Castle, and at the top of the elevator just before the King's Passage. So, but before we did that, I learned that there is a moth in that arena as well. Yeah, if you look up, there is a moth up there that you can hit. It will drop you an item, and I think we got a Radiant Life Gem out of that. So that was something new for me. I did not know that was there. Yeah, so after beating the Demon of Song, we pressed forward, took care of some basilisks. Then we unpetrified a statue, which had a bonfire, which led to the Altar of Death. Or I think that's what I'm going to call it. I'm just going to call it the Altar of Death. Yeah, but in order to get there, there's a door, and that door can only be opened if you're hollowed. Yeah, if you're human like we are now, it will not open. You have to be some sort of hollow. Basically, you have to be either cursed or get inflicted with the curse status, which basically counts as hollowing, or you die, which also applies a hollowing. Yeah. So either one, as long as you're hollowed by some amount, the door will open for you. Yeah, so we threw ourselves off a ledge just to get hollowed again. And then we went up the stairs, opened the door, and on the other side there was some hollows growing along the ground, dealt with them. But along the way there's a pyromancer NPC. Yep. There's actually 3 of them in that little altar area. They do respawn, so if you want to go there without having to deal with them, you're just going to have to kill them at least 12 times. Yeah. So, dealt with him. He's not too bad. They can be difficult if you let them, but we just had our spear and our stone ring. We just kind of poked him to death. So after beating him, made to the Altar of Death, where there was another Milfinito. Yep. So we talked with her. Just kind of talked about, the little ones were born from the great dead one, and we learned to sing from him, and when we sing, they're comforted, or they dance, and their dancing gives comfort to those in death and dark. And the usual, how the Milfinitos they'll never leave, they don't know about the outside world, all that stuff. But at the end of the dialogue, we talked to her again, and she gave us a divine blessing for beating the Demon of Song. And after that, we just kind of went downstairs where there was another Pyromancer NPC, dealt with him, picked up a fire seed, walked out to, I'm going to assume it's like a balcony almost. Well, it was probably a pathway at one point, but it's like a broken bridge, where there was another Pyromancy NPC, dealt with him. Yep. And then on either side was a chest. If you're facing out, the chest on the left contains the Manslayer. It's basically an Uchi Katana that has poison on it. Yeah, it has the same moveset as the Uchi Katana, but it has innate poison. Yep, and it can be upgraded with Twinkling Titanite. So it is, and we do have the stats needed to power stance both that and the Uchi Katana. So I might do that at one point. We'll see. And then the chest on the other side contained a bonfire ascetic, which I won't be using because I just don't like using them. They have their uses, but I just don't use them personally. And then after that, we went back to Drangelic Castle, up the elevator, and we freed the Milfinito at the top. Yep. We used the key of the embedded and embedded it inside the embedded. Yeah. The key is a great sword, but it's lost upon use, so we don't have it anymore, and we can't get it again until we beat the Demon of Song again in New Game Plus and beyond. So, oh well. It's an interesting sword, can't be upgraded, but it just looks cool. That's all it was. But after freeing the embedded from his mortal coil, door opened. We talked to the Milfinito up there. She went back down into Shrine of Amana, and she gave us a Ring of the Dead. Yeah, it's a Ring of the Dead. It's a ring that maintains human appearance even if hollowed. So if we were hollowed to some extent, we will end up still looking human. So it's possible the Milfinitos don't look like that. They might be wearing a similar ring that makes them look human, but they might be, either like hollows or skeletons or whatever. But I don't know. Things to think about. And then after that, we went back to the Shrine of Mana, to the first Milfinito we met. Talked with her. She gave us a divine blessing for, again, killing the Demon of Song, as well as another divine blessing for freeing the Milfinito in Drangelic Castle. So we got a few divine blessings out of that, which is nice. Then after that, we went back to the Altar of the Dead, talked to the Milfinito there, who gave us, I think, another fire seed for freeing the Milfinito inside Drangelic Castle. So, yep, so got some goodies out of that. And then the last thing we did is we killed a CN Knight guarding the door to the elevator that led us here to the Undead Crypt. Yep. Where we encountered Aldia again. Yeah. We went to go light the bonfire, but Aldia popped out and he talked to us. Yeah. And he talked about, how the Lord of Light who banished dark pulled like a veil over our eyes. Yeah, he asked us, what do we seek? Do we even know what we're seeking? And he asked us, do we wish to even preserve the peace, whatever. I don't know exactly I don't quite remember what he said, but he went on and on about, Lord of Light, banishing dark, humans assuming a fleeting form, asked us if we were willing to maintain this facade of peace and all that. Yep. And then we were given a choice. We can either say yes or no. If you want to fight him at the end, say yes. Yeah, just say yes. You have to say yes to all of his encounters if you want to fight him at the end. So, we just said yes. He went on about Vendrick and how he was almost a true monarch, and yeah. And then he disappeared. We will meet him again. Up at, I think, Dragon Ares. This is his next little encounter. But, yeah. Aldia. Yeah, the Scholar of the First Sin. That's who he is. Yep, and after that, we just kind of checked out this room. There was I think, a Radiant Life Gem over by the stairs. Hit the bonfire. I think that was it. Trying to remember if there was anything else. Nope, that was it. Yep, that was it. Finished up Shrine of Mana. Came here to Undead Crypt. Yep. I really do like this architecture. This architecture is really cool looking. I do like it. But, yeah. And between episodes, I did farm for some more Twinkling Titanite from the Archdrake Warriors and Shrine Maidens back in Shrine of Mana. They're going to be our main source of Twinkling Titanite because, as far as I remember, there are no merchants that will sell infinite Twinkling Titanites like the giant blacksmith in Dark Souls 1. No. The most, I think Cloan will sell like 3 of them once we finish up the Undead Crypt here, but that's it. That's all she sells. So the only way to get more Twinkling Titanite is just to farm the Archdrake Warriors and Shrine Maidens in Amana. Yeah. So if I need Twinkling Titanite, that's where I'm going to go. Yep. So that's basically all I did, was just farm for some Twinkling Titanites. And I upgraded the Dark Set here as well as the Hexer Hood. Yeah, I think that was all I upgraded. And also, with the souls we gained from farming the Twinkling Tie Knight, we did level up twice. We put 2 more points into Faith, so now we have a base of 52 Faith. I'll probably stop leveling at 55, because at 55 we'd be able to use Sunlight Spear without the Ring of Prayer. But I know there's one other miracle that requires like 60 something faith, but it's not the best. Sunlight Spear is probably going to be your best offensive miracle, but well, we can always respec. But for now, the plan is just to have 55 faith, just so I can use it. Yep. And that was it. That's all I did. Farmed from the Weekly Tie Knight, upgraded some armors, leveled up twice. And today, we'll be doing the Undead Crypt. It's not, if I remember right, it's not that big of a zone, but if I do it all in one episode, it will be a pretty long episode. I'll think about it. I'll try to do it in one episode, but I might split up into 2. But yeah, that's the plan. Doing the Undead Crypt. Yeah, because the Undead Crypt has some pretty good treasures in here. We'll actually meet Agdane. There's another copy of Great Lightning Spear in here. There's another invasion of the Nameless Usurper. There's I know there's at least one illusory wall in here. Velstat's in here. He's actually the boss of the crypt. There's probably some other stuff I can't quite think of right now, but I know it's another staff. We can get the Avalon here. Yeah, but as well as great treasures, there are great perils. So there's a sconce in here that we can light. However, it will irreversibly change how the Undead Crypt will play out. I'll probably talk more about that once we get there, but yep. It is a pretty annoying area, especially when we get to some of the graveyard areas, where there's bells and hollows ringing the bells, which summon ghosts, which can make the area very, very difficult. But hopefully I do have a plan. Hopefully it might work, but we'll see. We'll see if it actually works. If it doesn't, I'll have to just brute force the area, and that can be really, really dangerous, because the ghosts they summons do like to use magic and pyromancies, and ugh. But anyway, there is a way to stop the summoning of ghosts, but just getting to it's going to be a pain. But yeah, you'll see it when we get there. You'll see it. And our equipment for today, at least starting off, we have our Dragon Slayer Crescent Axe +5. Spear might have been. Spear is probably a good choice, but I know some of the ghost enemies in particular are susceptible to lightning. But I figured the axe looks good with this little armor set, so went with the axe. Watch Dragon Parma. Again, the enemies, those ghosts are primarily magic and fire, and just had the best balance between the two. So I have my Dragon Chime, because it's going to be our best chime. Ring of Blaze for some more physical damage. Ritual Band for more spell slots. Faster cast, more faith, so we can use Sunlight Spear. And the armor is going to be our Dark Hexer. Hexer Hood, again just for more casts. And the dark armor set that we have. Yep, the armor, gauntlets, and leggings, all upgraded to +5, so this is the max that they're going to be. Offers solid defenses. Yeah, pretty respectable defense. And we got our old Radiant Life Gems, because those Archstrike Warriors in the Shrine of Mana do drop these, and we grabbed a bunch of them while we were farming for Twinkling Tie Knight. These are probably the best life gems in the game, so might as well just use them. Green Blossom for faster stand recovery when we need it. Bolted Dusker for spell recovery when we need it. And here are our stats. Again, I put 2 more points into faith, so we have a base faith of 52. Alright. As soon as we hit 55 faith, I'm going to start upgrading our vigor, endurance, and vitality again, as well as our attunement and dexterity, and maybe some strength as well. We'll see. We'll see. Alright. I have 2 copies of Force, because hopefully Force will be able to break those little stones in the little graveyard area. I hope so. If it doesn't, then we're going to have issues. But hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. Great Lightning Spear, Sunlight Blade, and Great Magic Barrier. Pretty much the same as last time, except for Great Magic, except for Force. Yep. Alright. Shall we just get to it? Let's get to it. Now think about it, I should probably change out my shield, because there are going to be some spellcasters we're going to have to deal with. And it is the Undead Crypt, so it is going to be dark in places. So I apologize for that. And, Sea Knights. Yep. And you can see they're pretty tough. We're tougher. Bam. Give it a sec. I love it. Alright. So this torch guy will follow us around, but I do not recommend having him follow you. Yeah. Well, he can follow us for a little bit, but we have to make sure we kill him at some point. And here we go. Mr. Shield guys. Forgot about the follow-up. I think they're Imperious? I think they're called Imperious. Yeah, if they drop their armor set, they can drop those shields as well. Yeah, I do like their leggings, so I will farm for their armor set. Alright. Yes, and this next room is probably why I'm going to put on a spell deflect shield. Well, those enemies right there are the reasons why I have this shield on. Those are... I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Lindai. I don't know how to pronounce it. I have to get their item just to attempt to pronounce it. But basically, they're witches that will use hexes and sorceries, as well as pyromancies. So there's like I think 3 of them in there, and it's a real pain in the butt. Actually, let's get a. Let's get a bow, clear out these little guys first. Yeah, prisoners are also hostile, so you don't want them coming up behind you when you're dealing with those witches. Alright. So this room's going to be a pain. Good luck. Yeah. Pursuer type attacks. Dark fog. There we go. She dropped something. Yep, you saw they used hexes, sorceries, and lightning, so... Ooh, we got their staff. Oh, that's awesome. That is a good drop. Because their staff is unique. Yep. Staff of the Lydia Witches. imbued with a special magic, making it a catalyst for sorceries, miracles, and hexes. Yes, you can use this staff to cast all the spells. Not just sorceries, but miracles and hexes. Lydia apostles were adept at magic, wielded unique weapons, but were deemed blasphemous and slaughtered. Yep. You can use all the magics. Although, it doesn't have the best scalings, but if you don't want to switch between different chimes or staffs, just slap this on and you'll be fine. Nice. That was an excellent drop. Lucky drop. Invisible hollow. There was a little collision. Petrified something. Yeah, the Undead Crypt has quite a number of invisible hollows in it. I know the last main hall has like 3 or 4 of them in there. So we have summons. Ooh, Pilgrim Belclair. Or Devotee Scarlet. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I think at this point we have to kill our follower here. Otherwise, the guys in there are going to be mad at us. Alright. Sorry, buddy.
Halt. Human, do not produce light. Light, and all those who bear it, are unwelcome in this place.
That was Agdane, and that's a warning. If you come in here with a torch or the cast light spell, Agdane and these grave wardens in here will become hostile. So, if you don't want that, if you want to talk to Agdane, make sure you don't have a torch, you don't have cast light, or that torch follower is not following you. Even that torch follower will cause Agdane and the grave wardens to become mad at you. Even though we're not the one carrying the torch, they still hate us. I don't know. But, yeah, that's why I killed them, because I don't want Agdane and company to be enemies. No, because we like Agdane. Agdane's cool. He's up here. Yep. Grave wardens. We have Nameless Soldier. And here he is. This is Agdane. What's up, my man?
I'm Agdane, guardian of the crypt. Countless dead rest here in peace, cradled by the comfort of dark. Light only agitates. We have no need for it here.
Yep, the dark comforts the dead. Light only agitates. Alright, he's the guardian of the crypt, huh?
I am a finito. We weave death and watch over the dead. This task was granted to me by the one who gave us the first death. Countless souls rest here. Some of them from ages long ago. Some were rich, others poor, some wise, some dull, but now they're all just dead.
So he is a finito. Unlike the other Milfinitos. He was given purpose by the one who first granted death. Basically, Gravelord Nito. Yep. From Dark Souls 1. So he's basically been here since the dawn of the Age of Fire. Wow. Actually before that. Yep. Like how everyone is the same in death. Whether you're rich, poor, dull, or bright. All are equal in death.
Did you come for him? The one called Vendrick. You will find him deeper inside. Many castle servants and the like have come to fetch their lord. But they rest here now, put to death by the king's own guards. Perhaps he's not in the mood for company.
Wow. So the Lord's servants who came to get him all met their end by the guard. Something's going on in the castle, that's for sure. He was basically running from something, or protecting himself from something, or both.
In the past, humans were one with the dark. The former King of Light, he feared humans. Feared that they would usher in an age of dark. How queer you humans. How you go on, never separating truth from fiction.
That right there tells me Agdane knows the truth. He knows about Lord Gwyn and his fear of dark and what he did. How humans were once of the dark, and how we can either unwilling to separate truth from fiction, or not knowing that fiction is not true. I don't know. Basically what Aldia said. Lord of Light cast away the dark and pull a wool over the eyes of man. Yep. So Agdane knows. Agdane knows.
This place is welcome to all, provided due reverence is shown. Death is equitable, accepting. We will all one day be welcomed by her embrace. Tell me what you desire. Show me reverence, and I will lend you my hand.
Alright. Well, not everyone will become in death's embrace. If what Dark Souls 3 says is true, humans were once immortal, or practically immortal. But anyway, that's for another game. Alright, so Grave Warden Agdane. Yep. We learn Have Mercy. And before we buy, let's just talk.
I am a finito. This task was granted. Someone.
Looks like he's just gonna repeat what he says, huh?
The form, huh?
Alright, so let's see what he got. He got Ring of Thorn +1. Just a granted protection by Kreml, God of Struggle, yeah. Basically an upgraded version to the one we already have. The Ring of Thorns have a chance to perform like a counter strike. I think the +1 version just has a higher chance to activate. Yeah, I think the base version has, it's like 30%. The +1 is like 50, I think. 50% chance to activate. So, I mean, they can be useful. Especially if we have a shield that doesn't block 100%. As long as you take damage, I think it will activate. Or a chance to activate. So we'll just go and buy it. He has dark arrows and bolts. Yep. Fortified with dark are effective against those who fear the dark, such as clerics and magical creatures. Useful in the short term for those who have learned no magic or whose magic is exhausted. Oof. Imbued with dark flame, tipped with dark pine resin. Yeah, imbued with dark flame, huh? Yep. 13 human effigies. You can only get 10. We'll come back for that. As well as 13 Elizabeth mushrooms. Wow. Definitely come back for these. He has Soul Spear. We'll definitely come back for his miracles. Soul Vortex. Soul Peas and Warmth. Alright. So spells we already have, but we could get another copy here with him. Yeah, so I'll come back for these as well. Alright. So we just buy some arrows. Yeah, sure, why not? I know giants are weak to dark. I think some other enemies are weak to dark. Let's get like 135. There we go. Alright.
This place is welcome to all. Death is... Tell me what you desire.
Alright. That's Graveward and Agdan. That's all we're going to do with him for now. Once we beat Velstadt and meet Vendrick, he'll have stuff for us. But until then, that's it. Alright. Right, Agdan. See you in a bit.
Farewell, human.
Oops.
What do you...
Alright.
Crude.
Alright. So that's Grave Warden Agdan. Alright. So again, as long as you don't produce light in this room, these guys will just chill out. I mean, they'll attack you if you attack them, but as long as you don't bring light, they won't attack first. Alright. So now we just press forward. Now we're in the crypt proper. Yeah, so now you can actually have light. If you have light here, that's fine. Just don't have light in that room. We could light sconces, but the sconces will reveal red phantoms. No, let's just do it. Okay, so if we light the sconce, a red phantom should show up. There he is. Yep, he's a knight of insolence. Yep. He has a mace that can cast hexes and miracles. Just back off. Scraps of life. Don't want that. Alright. Yep, that's what happens when you bring light into this area. A red phantom shows up. He doesn't respawn, so he just shows up once and he's gone. Yep. We probably could drop down. I think there is a drop down point right here. Although I think it's too far. Nope. Alright, never mind. Yep, okay. I could barely see the ledge. So, yeah, it's not a good spot. Alright. I was wrong. Alright. This is a shortcut for later. Oh, can we actually go down now? I think we can. Hold on, let me, Aha, we can go down now, right here. Yes, we'll go here now. Alright. Because this flips over and you probably can drop down later, but yep, we'll go here. Alright. Cool. I think that's the way up, but we're behind them. Ah, yes, here it is. This is a thing that we have to make a choice. Don't you dare. That's a developer message, but this is also a sconce. However, if you light this, it'll light up the whole Undead Crypt. It'll light it all up. So once you light this, you can't undo it. And once you light the crypt up, those red phantoms that we fought earlier, they'll show up in throughout the crypt. Yeah. Again, they don't respawn, at least not in new game. But they do make certain sections difficult. Yeah, you can see there's a drop down over there we have to go do. I forgot about that. Oh well. We'll get it eventually, but yeah, so the question is, do we want to light this now, or do we want to light it later? I mean, they're not that difficult, but they are annoying. They show up at some pretty unfortunate spots, but they do have a chance of dropping their equipment. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Yep. When light is revealed, the shadows rise. Wrong hand. Gotcha. Ooh, we got one. Nice. That's one of the drops we wanted. Shield of the Insolents. Shield of the formerly high-ranking clerics. The effects of thy blessing are still within it. Are still with it, and the shield recovers 1 stamina. The clerics held venerated positions once, but now their souls wander aimlessly in the depths of a murky darkness. Increases stamina recovery. This guy, a guy on his face. Probably a figurehead of their faith, whatever it was. It's meh. Pretty good against dark, but other than that, it's meh. Mainly for the stamina recovery effect that it has. But we're gonna need repair powders. Oh my god, we're gonna need a lot of repair powders. There we go. Yep, so now the crypt is lit up. We can see the drop down there. Yep. Alright. Can we backstab this guy? I don't think we can. There's another insolent, another one of those. Let's call them the clerics. Those insolent clerics. Well, that's probably not how you pronounce it, but I think one of them is going to spawn in this room. You can't backstab him. Give me your stuff, thank you. Orma's Great Shield. It's one of the great shields he was wielding. Shield of the knights who long ago attempted to conquer the Undead Crypt. They bore no weapons, only a shield split into left and right halves, which they used to playfully crush their foes until their corpses were needed beyond recognition. The engraving depicts 2 messengers from the hereafter who welcomed the recently dead by reviewing the merits of their deeds in life. So we have, I'm guessing this is the left one. There is a right one. I don't quite remember what it's called, but so we got one of their shields. Again, it's a great shield. Pretty okay. It's okay. You know, the magic negation is kind of low, but everything else is okay. All right. Chest. I don't think you're trapped. Ooh, soul vessel, nice. Alright. Hold on. Just want to make sure. I know there's at least one fake wall in here, but I think it's a little bit further. Where does this pop us out of? Oop, I don't want. Did not want that. Soul of a hero. Ooh, pops out as a bonfire. I think this might be a hidden bonfire that you can't get to. No, it's not. Okay, we can't get here normally, but we can't get up there. But all right. Let's take a quick peek. Yeah, those are the little headstones. Actually, let's try it. Yes, nice. That's what I wanted to see. I was afraid Force wouldn't work like that, but it did. Alright, so there's the other bonfire. So I think we skipped like a good chunk of it by that one shortcut. But let's go back to the beginning and do that one drop down I forgot about. But alright, we have to do that little witch room again. So I'll just speed it up to or I'll just skip right to it. Ow. Hello. You can't. I don't think you can parry jump attacks. Oh, good shot. Ooh, got his armor this time. Nice. Here you are. Insolent armor. Armor worn by once proud clerics. The relics of a party who long ago attempted to conquer the Undead Crypt, but their sins, their deaths have been postponed, so they may serve as crypt sentries. Not bad, not bad. You could make it work with something. Definitely reminds me of the cleric knights from Dark Souls 1. A little bit, anyway. How's its armor? It's like medium armor. Alright, cool. So he even shows up here. Wow. There's going to be quite a number of them between here and there, aren't there? There might be another one in that witch room. Oh, that's going to be terrible. Missed. Yeah, that means there's going to be another one in that witch room, and that's going to be terrible. But, anyway. That's the choice we made, that's the choice we must... It's the choice we made, so it's the choice we have to deal with. Oh well. Nope, they can't be backstabbed because they're a bit too big, I guess. I can come with... Oh, there's actually two of them in there. Ooh, that is terrible. But again, they don't respawn, so... Just gotta get one of their attentions. There we go. Yep. Ow. I thought I was out of range. Oh, come on. I call it BS. I call BS. Oh well. Shenanigans. Alright. Alright, I called shenanigans on that, but anyway. Yeah, they don't respawn, so as long as we get through them, we'll be fine. So, come here. You too. You. All right. Okay. Yeah, they can track pretty well. That was from the hollow. Right, should we try that again? Alright. Come on. I mean, I could chuck lightning bolts too, but... yeah, they're NPC enemies. Ooh, another... what do we got? Ah, yes, they can drop fragrant branches of yore. That is cool. So we basically got back the one we used in the shrine. Let me switch these out real quick. Alright. Alright, so you think I can get the one behind them? Probably not. You can be poisoned, it takes like 4. Which is fine. We're just gonna sit here. Ooh, we dropped another thing. Nice. We're just gonna cheese these witches. I have no problems with that. There we go. Oh, now I wonder if Agdan's gonna be mad at us, because we, Agdan gonna be mad at us because we lit the torch we're not supposed to light. I'm sorry, Agdan, I'm sorry. Robes, cool. There we go. Ooh, we dropped another thing. Another shield. Sure, we'll take it. Alright, moment of truth. Well, is Agdan gonna be mad at us? Another staff and a magic stone. Also got the robes. When the apostles worship Gablet? However you want to pronounce it. God of disease. They once resided in the Undead Crypt beside Finito. The Lydia witches grew conceited and begun to manipulate both the onset and curse and curing of disease, making themselves the effective gatekeepers of the crypt. Interesting. Ooh, it's got a nice little tail on it. We can make it work. Alright. Alright, Agdane. Don't be mad at us, please.
Human. Light.
Okay, good. You're not mad at us, thank God. That would have been awful if he was.
What do you... I am a Finnick. This come somewhere cruelty.
Okay. That was my question I wasn't sure of. Alright. So now we got back to where we wanted to be. Yeah, this one's going to be a long one. Oh, there's another. Ow. Fine. Come on. What? Yeah. That's gonna be annoying. Yeah, he's not gonna move from that spot, is he? Wow, that lightning spear curved. We'll go take care of him. Should be just a drop down here. There's a invisible hollow right there. Dealt with him. Blue silky stone from the hollow. His boots. Nice. Just tank it. Don't want to get knocked off. That'd be bad. Sipped in spice and great hero soul from the corpse, and he dropped another shield. Alright. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend lighting that fire if you don't want to deal with these red phantoms, but we need their drops. Slap that on, slap this on. Come over here, up the ladder. Again, there's a invisible hollow right here. Should be some wall ghosts that are gonna pop out. Yeah, let's just walk through them. Let's go through. Take care of him. Don't think there's any fake walls up here. Nope. Chest. I don't think you're trapped. We have crushed eye orb and a fire seed. A crushed eye orb. Not a red eye orb or a blue eye, but a regular eye. Where are you? There you are. Crushed eye orb. Invade world of a traitor. A crushed eye orb with an unfocused gaze. The crushed eye withers unsteadily in search of dishonorable miscreants. Where are the fiends? Where are they? Oh, there's one. We know. Oh, I know of one, but we can. Well, we can guess about one from the nameless usurper. Drop down, we press forward. Use a repair powder for our. There we go. Now we can press forward. There's another insolent over there. Jeez. All right. So that is a bell. That right there is a bell. If we ring the bell, we'll wake up the ghosts. And the ghosts come out as particular, like that over there. It's hard to see, but there's a, oops. That's a ghost right there. It's a Lydia ghost. They're the ones that are weak to lightning. They love to cast magic. I need my stamina. Crap. I thought I hit a thing, but nope, I hit a bell on accident. Yep. Those are the ghosts. They are dangerous, and there are quite a number of them throughout the graveyard area. Man. Yeah, you saw they attack quick, they hit pretty hard. But there is a way to prevent them from spawning, and you have to destroy that little sarcophagus they came out of. Alright. Alright, so with that little another death, but the Undead Crypt. There, it's a pretty dangerous area. So I'm going to make our way back. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, shall we try that again? Maybe this time not hit a bell. Although there are going to be hollows in the area that will hit them for us, or whether we like it or not. Alright. Come. Alright, so to prevent the ghosts from spawning, you just smack this a few times. Yep, and they won't spawn anymore from there. But again, we have skeletons who'll hit the bells. They hit hard. They hit really hard. But, again, if we destroy these little statue sarcophaguses, they won't spawn. And I don't think those things respawn either. I think once you destroy this, it doesn't come back. Chunk and a petrified dragon bone. There's a ladder there. We'll check that out in a moment. He dropped a faint stone. Let's move silky stone. Ooh, Lydia gauntlets. Let's see. You're probably down here. Nope, you're up. Alright. I know what they look like, I just gotta find them. And... oh, here they are. Yep. Lydia, or gauntlets of the Lydia Pyromancers, even though they're using sorceries. They can also use pyromancies too. In fact, the last one we just killed was attempting to use a pyromancy, but We knocked him out of it. Lydia apostles in their conceit occupy the Undead Crypt and misused death. This invoked the ire of Finito. He branded them as transgressors. Yep. Ooh, cool looking gloves. Definitely put those to use. Alright, so instead of the Ring of Blades, we'll put on our spell quartz. Yeah, because those Lydia ghosts, they use a special sword that has magic on it, and it's probably why they're hurting really bad. Well, we could just use a Great Barrier. Falchion. There's a wall ghost right there. Smooth silky stone. Alright. Excuse me, sir. Silky stone. Alright. Yeah, those are the guys who are weak to lightning. They don't have much health, they're susceptible to lightning, they're pretty resistant to physical in general. So what, a hero? Oh, there's the bonfire. Okay, so it didn't take us very far, but... Simpleton Spice, Black Fireball. I think that should be all little, okay, let's look at all the sarcophaguses in this room. Two effigies, thank you. Alright, so we have that bonfire, so let's go check out the ladder, see where it goes. It goes back here. There we are. Well, since we got his attention, he'll come down. We missed. That's the only we missed that little knee block. Got scraps of life. There we go. This drops a Skeptic Spice. We have a Lydia Witch here. She drops her staff again. Don't mind if I do. That's hard to see. Alright, can we break this with a bow and arrow? No. Okay. We have... Dried Fingers, Bonfire Ascetic, and Twinkling Titanites. Alright, Dried Fingers. You are right here. With multiple knuckles. Shriveled but radiating a peculiar warmth. By the number of knuckles, it couldn't have been human, but perhaps some questions are left best unasked. I'm pretty sure this allows for multiple invaders at a time. I think you can you can get invaded at least once by I think it's an online item in general. So if you get invaded, you can use this to have again multiple invaders. So I'm guessing anyway. I don't really do PvP or online, so just guessing on the use from Dark Souls 1, which allowed for multiple invaders. All right. I'll keep that on. We'll put on. Pretty sure there's a fake wall up here. Or is it down below? No, it's not down below, it's further on. Alright. Okay. Yeah, this one's going to be a bit longer, because I want to try and get to at least... we'll do the whole thing. Yeah, we'll do the whole thing. Alright. One right there. Oop, okay. Nope, another insolent guy. Let him come into this room. Or is he gonna stick up to that little... I think he's gonna stay up there, yeah. Dead. Go. Ooh, got the hood. Nice. Let's try and take care of this real quick. There we go. Pretty sure that's all the little sarcophaguses in here. Shard, thank you. Bracing Knuckle Ring +2 is further reducing spell degradate or weapon degradation. Alright. Let's make sure there's no more in here before we take on Mr. Insolence. Alright. Don't see any more. Hey, buddy, I need you out of that room. Where'd you go? Yeah, that's why. Got his helmet. I think she comes from over there. Right. Meet again, Miss Usurper. Just gonna use our force to kind of hopefully stun her. Or we just do that. Nameless Usurper. Yep. I think human effigy. Nice. Divine Blessing, Soul of a Hero, another wall ghost. Right, this should have the fake wall. I think it's actually right here. You can tell because of the shading. And there should be another insolent behind here. No, you're in here. Oh. Really, just a wall ghost. Could have sworn there'd be another insolence in here. But the chest? The Avalon and Heavy Bolts. Yep, here we go. Here's the Avalon. A guaranteed Avalon. Bowman Guthrie can drop one, but yep. Extremely rare, rapid-firing crossbow. Fires 3 successive bolts, inflicting heavy damage by making all 3 shots count. Fiorenzia, the richest merchant in all of Volgan, recreated this lost weapon after reading of it in an old book. Yep. So it's a reproduction. Yeah, the original Avalon's probably dead and gone. Long gone, but... Lydia's white hood. Definitely use it. Definitely use it. And here's the insolent helmet. I like how the little nose guard is crooked. Yep. Alright. Alright, let's use a dusk herb. So we restocked almost all of our spells. Nice. Alright. Let's press forward. Should have Mr. Wall Guy. There should be... There's another ghost. Oh, there's another one. Get backstepped. Now. Oh. Didn't get that one, alright. Unfortunately, these guys can't be poisoned, so even if they're like this, they're not going to go anywhere. Curious. Out of curiosity, does this work? No? Alright. Ooh, that was nice damage. So this should... yeah, they're weak to lightning, so... Zap. Ooh, we got their gloves. Yep, those are Imperious... I think they're Imperious. I think how they pronounce it. Imperious Knights. That's the Insolent Gloves. Alright, let's see. Mastodon. Did we get their gloves? I thought we did. Oh yeah, these are Imperious gloves. I thought those are Insolence. Nope, those are Imperious. Gloves worn by once proud knights, relics of a party who law, yep. For their act of conceit, they will never rest in peace, and instead serve as crypt guardians. One's sentinels, one's guardians. Alright. This drop down is a bitch. Sorry for my language, but that room right there is probably where we're going to die the most. This is going to be bad. Look, there's one right here. Thank you. Magic shield. Yep. This little brick. Hanging lava. Yeah, because that one guy is right there, summons all of them. Oh, the run back's gonna be a pain. Well, will it? Oh, we can actually fast travel to the other one. Now that we found it. Will it? Because there's actually a good chance to see if those sarcophaguses respawn or reform. Alright, so let's see if it works. Nope, they do not restore. Good. That makes the run back a lot easier. The insolence guys don't respawn either, so we'll just run through all this. Except for you. Alright. So all we have to deal with these guys. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. Actually, let me take care of him. Alright, buddy, come on. We don't have all day. Come on. I'm not quite sure how to get them out of there. Again, they can't be poisoned, so it's like I can't just poison mist them and let them be gone, but... we could probably just squeeze through. Nope. Now they want to play. You almost got one tapped. Thank you. Oh, we got the other Great Shield. Reeve Great Shield. Shield of the Knights. Yep. Yep. Split in half. Recognition. Graving depicts two messengers, recently dead. Yep. Let me put this one over here. Yep. Yeah, so now we can be shield bros if we want, but no. Stick with our axe. Alright, so we might die a few times down here, which is just par for the course, but... here's the other one. Good. Gotcha. Oops, accidentally tapped it. It's fine. We got most of them, so. There's one down here, so we make sure to get this one. But that's actually the way forward. I know there's one. Oh, here it is. Oh, Mace of the Insolence and a Soul of a Hero. Nice. There should be one more sarcophagus. Yep, there it is. Screw you. It's down here. There we go. That should be all of them. Dude, get out of here. Alright. Your bell ringing is futile. I have destroyed them all. How are you not dead? Whatever. We got them all, so now we don't have to worry about them. Clearing out this little area. We have Radiant Life Gem, Homeward Bone. It's dropped by one of the hollows. That's where that statue was. Yeah, when the bell's not tolling, they're gonna go and toll a bell. So that's the way forward. There we go, another fake wall. You should have an insolence behind it. No. Oh, yeah. Ferrous Lockstone, which should open up the wall on the other side. Yep, there it is. This one should have the insolence behind it. Yep, there he is. Got clipped. I think you used a charm of some sort. Get out of here. There we go. Said, get out of here. Switchy drop. Let's get the spice. Yeah, we did get their mace. Yeah, whatever. And this is Ulfred's Staff and Great Lightning Spear. Yeah, there it is. There's the other copy Lightning Spear we want. Let's... Yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys don't infinitely respawn. There is a limit. Soul item, Dragon Chime. drink. Alright. So we have their mace. Mace of the Insolence. Yep. Mace of formerly high-ranking clerics. It's combined with a sacred chime and can cast miracle hexes with strong attack. And the clerics held venerable positions once, but now their souls wander aimlessly in the depths of a murky darkness. Yep. Strong attack is our cast spell, miracle or hex. Yep. So this is one of those weapons where you can have a melee attack with your R1s or your quick attacks, but your strong attacks are going to be your spell or miracle. Hence the little chime, but I wouldn't recommend. I mean, it's okay if you're just gonna have like, if you're gonna focus on melee but have your spells as kind of like an option, like a not an option, but an option. It's like miracles are gonna be the side piece to this mace. The mace is gonna be focused on melee combat, but it's an interesting little mace, but another repair powder. We also got the staff. I forgot about the staff. Yep, Ulford's staff. Staff of Olenford, the sorcerer. Olenford the sorcerer. A callus for sorceries and hexes. Olenford, revered as the father of sorcery at Melfia, sought knowledge that surpassed mankind's kin, and so ventured into the Undead Crypt, and did away with his humanity. Some hold the theory that Melfian sorceries and pyromancies originated within the boundaries of Drangelic in ages past. But they're not quite wrong. Interesting little staff. Cool looking staff. I think it's better with hexes. Yeah, it's a hexing staff. But, all right. Let's chow down another dusk herb. Thank you. Alright, so now we can press forward. Which is whichever one has the little railing on it. It's right here. It should be on the other side of the little bridge. We got one last insolence knight to deal with. Gotcha. Haha, we traded. Alright. Twinkling Titanite. So that's the last of them. They won't spawn again, not until New Game Plus. There's the last hall. At the end is Velstadt, the Royal Aegis. There should be another. I can see 2 CN Knights as well as a Dragon Rider at the end. On either side of this little pathway, there are permanent sarcophaguses, which spawn the Lydia ghosts. The bell for those ghosts are actually below the stairs. And there's a cheeky little trap, whatever. A hollow will spawn out of the ground and he'll ring the bell without you realizing it. If you do kill him, another 2 will spawn. Yeah, so if you don't want to deal with the ghost, drop down, kill the hollow before he rings the bell. Sit there and wait. The other ones will eventually spawn, and just kill them before you progress further. But alright. Before we do anything else, we're gonna climb the stairs, hit the switch. knocks us over. Yep. But I think now we can no longer get to that little drop down below. At least not from here. Might be able to do it from the other side, but yeah, the shortcut back. Which we'll do. We'll go and rest. Get our flasks back. I think it's over here. There it is. Thank you. Alright, let's rest. We don't need force anymore, so we can put on something else. Definitely put on another copy of Great Lightning Spear, because, yeah. Let's see, what else do we want? Just like a little regen of sorts. Another Lightning Spear. Well, yeah, sure, Lightning Spear. Okay. Sweets. Well, no, we'll press forward. No, never mind. Come on, Sunlight Blade. That frees this one up for... So we'll be fighting Velstadt. What should I put that on? Alright. Cool, let's go. Alright, so now we'll tackle this room and we'll fight Velstadt. Before that, we have a chest. No latches, not a mimic. Magic Stone, Dark Knight Stone. Cool, we'll take it. Alright, so here's the last main hall. Yep. What we're going to do is we're going to drop down to the left, get under the stairs, take care of the hollow that's under there. Make sure we kill the 3 of them, just so we don't have to constantly deal with the Lydia ghosts. Don't think there's anything up on these stairs, but we'll check it out once we take care of this feller. I hit the bell. Whatever. We're just gonna sit here and wait. Yep, there is he again. Should be one more. You can see the Lydia ghosts on down the hall. Yeah, there's 4 of them down this hallway. Yeah, but if you want their shield, their sword, their robes, this is where you farm them at. Come on, I know you spawn again. Let's go. Come on. Just gonna sit here for a minute just to make sure. Take care of the invisible hollow. Sticky stone. So we'll give it one more minute. Alright, I think we're good. I think we're good. But if we hear the bell again, we'll come running back. Ooh, hello, insolent guy. Come on. Gotcha. Oh, really? Helm again. Alright. It's a good thing we looked down that way. Otherwise we would have had to deal with him. Alright, we'll go down this way. Stop every now and then just to check for any more insolent knights. Come on, ghosts. One tapped, nice. That's what we like to see. There's the other one. There we go. Going right there. Go. And one just further down. And bam. Cool. There you go. Ooh, the blue flame. That's what we want. That's what we like to see. The blue flame is another interesting cattle or spellcasting weapon. This one allows you to cast sorceries. A straight sword wielded by Lydia Apostles, imbued with a special magic that makes the blue flame both a sword and a magic catalyst. Execute strong attack to emit magic. Yep. Adept at magic wielded unique weapons, but were hunted down as traitors. Yep. But apparently only sorceries. Unlike, yep. No pyromancies, just sorceries. Beautiful looking, but it's okay. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's better than the mace. I'll say that. Cool, we got that. That's nice. I think all we need now is their robes. Need their robes and their shield. Okay. So let's go back this way. Hug the wall just to check for, well, we can cast light. We'll use a torch. Okay. Yeah, let's go this way. So there should be a few invisible hollows down this little hallway. Yep, one right here. Stone. Should be coming towards the end. Yep, we got the CN Knight's attention. Got both of their attentions, okay. Blocked. Now it's just you, Mr. Dragon Rider. Just you. Stamina back. Oop. Ow. I was hoping I had more time to eat that green blossom, but oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Alright, let's do another butterfly. Let's make sure we get all the invisible hollows. On either side of the stairs, there should be 2 chests. So let's check this one. Let's see. This one has a fragrant branch of yore. Nice. This one has 4 torches. We'll take it. Right. This one has 15 poison knives. We could probably use them against Velstadt during his little buff animation. Dark Night Stone. Okay. Summon Sun over there. Another invisible hollow. Stone. I think that should be almost everything in this room. Up here's another invisible hollow. A lot of them down here in the Undead Crypt. Okay, so now we're back at the start. Okay. Alright, so let's chow down one more dusk herb. That should be fine. And we'll do this. Alright. Alright, so now we have... Let's see who this is. It's Agdane. Should we? This might be the only fight we can actually summon him for. It's Velstadt. You don't have to summon him to get the rewards from him. But you know what? I think it's the only time we can actually summon him, so... In a moment. We'll come back. Alright, so through that gate is Velstadt, the Royal Aegis. Yep, he's basically another giant knight-type enemy. He hits pretty hard, or he does hit hard. He's not fast, but he's not slow, like the Looking Glass Knight. You can parry him, though you can't riposte. I'm not going to try, because I don't know the timing. I could probably try, but I'll definitely miss, and you don't like that. Nope. Let's see. He uses physical attacks during phase 1. Wait, we got the magic shield? Oh, we already got their shield. Okay. Oh, spell parry. Nice. I thought we didn't get this yet. Okay. Yeah, this is the shield of the Lydia ghosts. Yep. If you use special magic, allows spells to be deflected by parrying. Yep. but failed to treat death with proper respect. As punishment, they were denied peaceful deaths. Yep. Alright. I just did not realize we got that. Nice. Excuse me. Alright. Well, as I was saying, Velstadt, Phase 1, he uses pure physical attacks. He will eventually, I think about 60% health, I would say. He enters a buff animation where he takes reduced damage, but he'll infuse his, he'll unlock, or he'll use dark attacks after that. So, I was looking for a shield that has pretty good physical as well as decent dark negation, which is probably going to be our Parma that we already have. Yep. Yeah, it's probably this Parma. Yep, okay. He's more concerned about the physical attacks than dark, because we already have some decent dark defense from our armor. Keep that. Probably keep that. Alright. That, and I can eat that. Alright. He can be poisoned. In fact, let's put this here, put this here, put our poison throwing knives, because we will throw these at him when he's buffing. Hopefully to get poisoned. And then we can actually put on our poison dagger. I'll put on poison daggers when he's buffing. Alright. So, Velstadt, the Royal Aegis. Yeah, again, just a basic knight type enemy. Design is very reminiscent of what's his name? Vengarl. No, it's not Vengarl. It's the knight from Demon Souls that protects Maiden of Straya. Garl Vinland. Yeah, that's his name. Design is very reminiscent of him. The triangular helmet, again the Royal Aegis, protecting an important person. His weapons very similar to Vinland. Yeah, it's Vinland. Yeah, Garl Vinland. Yep. So, but he doesn't have a shield, so he just will smack you with his bell hammer. Yes, it is a bell hammer. But yeah, we will try parrying him at least once, but most likely miss and probably die. But yeah, so it's just kind of just a regular, straight up night fight. Nothing special. Yep. All right. I'm pretty sure he's weakest to lightning and strike, because he does have the plate armor, and he is pretty resistant to dark. Yeah, because he does use dark. So yeah. He is susceptible to poison. I'm pretty sure he can bleed, although he's probably pretty resistant to both, I would imagine. Yep. Alright. We might die to him. Oh well. But the runback's really bad, so if we do die to him, it's going to be a real pain in the butt. Alright. But let us get our friend. Come on, Agdane. You're our only hope. Probably going to be the only time we summon him, so the more the merrier. Alright. He is a finito, so he should hold his own. Alright. Alright, so we're going to lightning blade, and then we're going to chuck some lightning spears at him. Alright. Let's do this. that damage. That was a good lightning spear. There's his buff. I think he's poisoned. No, not yet. There it is. There's poison. Okay. No, Agdane, no. Yeah, Agdane's gonna die. No. As I... Oop, wrong one. We'll still try and parry, but just once. We'll give it one try. One more try. There we go. Velstadt, the Royal Aegis. Alright. Little touch and go here and there, but about what I expected. Yeah. It's sad Ade didn't make it, but again, he wasn't necessary. We didn't have to summon him, but it was probably going to be the only time we were able to summon him, and might as well. But yep, Velstadt, not a bad fight. Just a straightforward fight. Poison throwing knives was a good idea. Didn't quite apply poison quick enough. Although I think he might have reduced poison buildup while he's buffing. Yeah, because he takes reduced damage from every source. So, but we did eventually poison him, so that's good. Yeah, he hits pretty hard, especially after his little buff. You might be able to knock him out of it, but it's really, really hard. It might be impossible, or practically impossible, but well, you might be able to do it if you had like an ultra great sword or a great hammer, but you might be. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, Sunlight Spear, oof, knocked definitely did some damage to him. But again, once he buffs up, he does get, I think, a boost to his defense and a boost to his offense. But, yep. Sad Agdane didn't make it, but oh well. We did get the parry off. We did get it off. But again, you can't repose thing. He sits there for a second or two, but it's enough time to get some hits in. Yep. And we also got his soul. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Soul of Velstadt. Interesting little color. That reminds me of some of the souls you get in the DLC, like Artorias' soul in particular. That little purple haze to it. Yep. Soul of Velstadt, defender of the king inside the Undead Crypt. Velstadt was always at the king's side, as if he were his lord's own shadow. After the king retired to the Undead Crypt, Velstadt followed, never to return. Yep. So his soul grew dark just from being in the Undead Crypt here, it looks like. You can see all these other souls are these bright colors, but nope, not his. His is dark. Yeah, and these souls are large, like the great souls. Yeah, so from his soul we can get his weapon, as well as a miracle. Yep. I think you get his weapon from Ornifex, but the miracle is from Strayed. And we will get the miracle. It is a really good miracle. We're definitely going to get it. Alright. Velstadt. Yep. And just beyond lies the king. Yep. King Vendrick. He is hollowed. He's passive. He is a boss, but again, he's passive until you hit him. And his defenses are, well, they're boosted. But the only way to lower his defenses back to normal is to have giant souls in your inventory. And to get his defenses back to normal, you need 5 giant souls. So we're not going to fight him yet. It is possible to beat him now. It is very tedious, it is very long, and considering how much health he has and how hard he hits, he could probably one-tap us right now if he really wanted to. So we'll come back to him later, once we get all 5 giant souls. Here... see like the little shimmerings, almost like the little, almost like the fireflies back in the Shrine of Mana. You know. Pick up the King's Ring. We can examine it, but we need the Ashamist Heart to interact with that. We have the king, the ring of the king. Opens the king gates. Yep. All the gates that said produce a symbol of the king, this is what opens them. Let's get away from that. Yep. A soul is much like a curse, and those with strong souls must bear within themselves an even stronger curse. Vendrick, king of Drangelic, used a powerful soul to keep the curse at bay. In the end, he sought the flame that began it all. Wear this ring to open the king's gates. Yep. Used a powerful soul to keep the curse at bay. So whose soul did he use to keep at bay? His own? No, it can't be his own. It had to be something else. Now that we have the King's Ring, the Emerald Herald shows up.
This ring is the symbol of the king. Use it to gain passage through the king's gate and venture to the far east. Bearer of the curse, if you are to be the next monarch, then one day you will walk those grounds without really knowing why.
Alright, Miss Firekeeper-esque person. Anything else? Nope. Alright, she's compelling us to press forward. Basically telling us to go back to the Shaded Woods, take the center path towards Aldia's Keep. But we have another destination in mind first. That we are going to... There's 2 things we want to do first. I'm going to run back to Agdane, because once you beat Velstadt, you know, meet the king, meet Vendrick, grab the ring. Now, once you do that, if you go to Agdane and talk to him, he should give you some stuff. And after that, we will head to Strayed, because Strayed should have another spell, another miracle for us. We'll also trade in Velstadt's soul. Yep. A few things to do, We can also do the Crushed Eye Orb if we want, but we'll probably do that next episode. Alright. Agni's not here because we summoned him, so he's not going to be here. Will a quick reload work, or will we have to actually rest at a bonfire? Might have to actually rest at a bonfire. Yeah, we have to rest at a bonfire. Hooey. Alright, let's go rest, and we'll meet Agdane.
Human.
There we go. Alright, Agdane.
What do you require?
Alright, so since we beat Velstadt, we met the king, you got something for us?
You have met the king, have you? Life is never easy, never fair. Even more so on this path you've chosen. May you find your peace one day. Take these with you. You may need them as proof of your visit here.
He gives us his equipment as well as a dark drift. Alright, anything else?
In the past, humans were one with the dark. The former king, huh?
Alright. Anything new here? We could buy the stuff out now. Sure, we'll do it. We have the monies. Maybe not all of it, but we have monies. Yep. Alright. What was that? 52. I don't want different savings.
Farewell, human.
Alright. Yep. You beat Velstadt, you meet the king, he gives you his stuff. Yep. Alright. Oh, I'm gonna need more. Oh, I shouldn't have not bought all that stuff because I need souls for Strayed. I have to dip into savings for that. Dang. Let's go talk to Strayed because I know he has some new stuff. Cole should also have some new stuff as well. And Kale's little map room should have updated as well. And Mullen should have Velstadt's armor. Ooh, a lot of stuff.
Well, very funny.
Oops. Alright, so how much is it? Should be over here. Yep, here it is. Yep, Sacred Oath. You get that from Velstadt. An ancient miracle said to have been devised by warriors who once served the god of sun. It provides a temporary boost to attack and defense as of the casters and nearby allies. Yep. Definitely going to grab that. It's only 3,000, so.
Feeble. Let's hope.
Pop a few souls because he also has another copy of. Should have another copy of Sunlight Blade.
Well, very fine.
Let's trade for Velstadt. And buy. Here he is. Oh, he has another. Ooh, he has another lightning spear. And Sunlight Blade. 25,000. Okay, we'll come back for these. And we'll come back for these. So we'll have 3 copies of Great Lightning Spear and 2 copies of Sunlight Blade. Nice, nice. Yep, these get added once you go through the Undead Crypt, beat Velstadt, meet the king. Yeah, so he'll have these for sale. All right.
Feeble. Do you really?
All right. Let's head back to. Yeah, we'll head back to Majula. Check in with some of the NPCs because the Undead Crypt is another milestone, like the Looking Glass Knight and the old ones. So I wonder if these guys have new things. I know you have something new, but... Emerald Herald?
Bearer of the curse.
Until hope is lost. Yeah.
The sign you bear will drain your very souls. And without souls, you will turn hollow. Stay strong, even when you have pressure.
Little time. Alright. Let's check in with Salden. How many times have I died? 82. Nice.
I will. You may notice symbol. These are if you. May you find peace.
Nothing new from you. What about you, Elizabeth? I doubt you have anything new.
I'm glad to see. I finally tracked down my team, but I need to see what I can achieve.
Anything new? Nope.
Be safe.
Carillion?
Your visit is welcome. I trust. Sorcery was some, but we finished before.
New from you about items. No, I still have to buy you out. I keep forgetting.
One day.
Nothing from you. We'll leave Lycia for later because reasons.
Oh. Stones? You might...
Nothing new. Nope. But you, Chloanne, you have some new stuff for us. I know that.
You've been long away. Well,
You have updated your inventory. Yep. Once you beat the Undead Crypt, she adds Titanite chunks. Slab, 3 twinkly Titanites, 3 petrified dragon bones, 3 infusion stones. Yep. Vastly increases your inventory. Yep. Infinite chunks come after Nisandra, so yeah. And I don't think she ever has infinite of these. Or these. So what you see is what you get. Alright.
no interest. I was born in a land to the west. They were great, but for me, and so I said, they're a danger. But for it's as if no interest.
Cool. Alright. What about you, Melintia? You have anything? Probably not.
And you?
Nothing new, nothing new, nothing new, nothing new. Cool.
Lonely.
I thought you would at least restock your bright bugs, but nope. Alright, Mullen, I know you have Velstadt's armor.
You need armor?
Yep, here it is. Velstadt's helmet, armor, gauntlets, and greaves. Yep. Helmet worn by the Royal Aegis, originally imbued with the power of miracles, now soaked with dark after extended exposure in the Undead Crypt. A knight from a faraway land was lured to this accursed land, but forgot even where he came, eventually reduced to a shadow of his former self. So I guess he was another one of the, was he the soul that Vendrick used to stave off the curse? Was he the one? It kind of sounds like it. Man, if that's true, that would suck. And here's his armor. Yep. Pretty good armor. Heavy armor at that, but it's good armor. So we'll probably get this between episodes. Yeah, definitely lighter than Looking Glass Knight, but...
Are you sure?
We'll definitely grab that between episodes. Right, I think Kale's map updated as well. I think. Yeah, I think this over here. Alright. And it just needs 2 more flames. Yeah, 2 more. I think one of them is the giant lord.
Even more. I don't.
Alright. Yep. Alright, Kale, I'll leave you to it. And we'll check once more with you. I don't think you have anything new. Nope.
What?
Alright. Oh, Shaquar, I've come with shrimp.
You'll find a great creature far to the east. A colossal thing with the strength to match its size. Or something playing the part at least. Open the door and venture inside, and you'll soon smell even lovelier.
Yep, she basically reiterates what the Herald told us, venture to the east. Yeah, but she gives a bit more, in that there's a colossal creature with the strength to match. Or at least something playing the part. A possible imposter of sorts, maybe? Yeah, just keep that little dialogue in line once we get to the ancient dragon. Yep.
Once, people tried to round up they thought that they could the lot the
Alright, nothing new. Cool. Alright. Again, we'll leave Lycia for later because reasons. And we'll do one more check with Ornifex. Just see what we could have gotten with Velstadt's soul. Should be his hammer. But I just want to look. We can also have to check out Agdane's stuff because we need to see what it says. It's so nice that I don't have to deal with those enemies to this little door. Right, Ornifex.
Hello there. Do you find me strange? You humans are always this way. The way you glare at any unfamiliar creature. That mix of curiosity, fear, and revulsion. Oh, well, it hardly concerns me.
Alright, let's trade. Alright, here it is. Soul of Velstadt, Sacred Chime Hammer. Great hammer of the Royal Aegis. The power of this hammer blessing has not faded completely, despite it being exposed to the dark of the Undead Crypt. It leashes latent power with a strong attack. Sir Velstadt, known as the Royal Aegis, gave himself to the king in both life and death. I think it just shoots out some dark orbs. Yeah, nothing. It's not nothing special about it, but it's a nice little surprise attack for unsuspecting players. Alright. Anything new from you? I doubt it, but we should be fine for that. We don't really use fire arrows. Alright.
Come again.
Alright, with that, I think we're ready. I think we can finally call this an episode after like 2 hours. Jeez. Yeah, I just wanted to get the Undead Crypt done out of the way. Yeah, because would have been a lot faster except for those insolent knights, but definitely worth it. Alright, and with that, we'll finally call an episode. Yep. We did the whole of the Undead Crypt. Yep. Yeah, just start off at the bonfire where we first met all the at the end of the Shrine of Amana. Yep, and we just kind of press inwards. Yep, inwards. Where we encountered some CN knights guarding the entrance, as well as some Imperious knight after that. Next was the big room with the 2 Lydia witches guarding the entrance to the Undead Crypt. So we just kind of used our bow and arrow to just kind of pluck down the hollows surrounding in the area. Then we just kind of came into melee, whacked them down, and luckily they dropped their staff for us. So yeah, it's an all-purpose staff. Yeah, I guess that it can cast sorceries, miracles, and hexes. Except for pyromancies. Can't do pyromancies, but oh well. Oh well. Yep. So we cleared out that room, as well as the invisible hollow by one of the broken stairs. And then after that, we dealt with our torch follower, because we didn't want to drag Light into Agdane's room. Yeah, because you drag Light into Agdane's room, he'll get mad. Yeah, him and the Grave Wardens will become aggressive and they'll try and kill you. Yeah. So make sure you don't produce light. No torches, no cast light, no torch hollow follower. Yep. So. Yep. And after that, we went into and met Agdane. Yep. Grave Warden Agdane. Yep. He talked about how he's a finito. He found that humans were once part of the dark, and that the old Lord of Light, who banished dark, basically pulled a fast one, or pulled covers over the eyes of humans, and humans were either, or they didn't. What's the right word? How do you phrase it? He's curious to see why humans didn't attempt to separate truth from lies, but yeah. But anyway, yeah. So, Agdane bought the Thorn Ring from him. The Ring of Thorns +1. And that was it for him for now. And after that, we just made it into the Dark Crypt proper. Lit the sconce in the middle of the bridge just to show that the Insolent Knights will spawn if you bring light in there. Not a torch light, but an actual sconce. But I think torches will actually cause them to spawn as well. I think any light will cause them to spawn, which would be bad. But yeah. So we dealt with him. We did a drop down where we found the sconce to light the Undead Crypt. Yeah, it's one of those things where if you want to make it hard on yourself, light it. There's actually a developer message there saying, "Don't you dare," but we dared. So we lit that particular sconce. It lit up the Undead Crypt, and that caused all of the Red Phantom Insolent Knights to spawn. Yep. And so we made certain areas as harder. Yeah. So after doing that, we went up, got behind one of those Imperious Knights, took care of him, grabbed his shield, opened the chest, I think with a soul vessel. Yep. Up the ladder, picked up a hero soul. Ladder dropped down to a bonfire, which was inside the crypt, and then we teleported back to the beginning. Yep. And at which point, we found out that Insolent Knights spawned everywhere in their crypt, even at the entrance. So, yeah, we just kind of tried to fight our way back. Took care of the first Insolent Knight, took care of the CN Knights again, and the Imperious Knight, and then we tried to take on the Imperious Knights in the next room with the witches, but I call shenanigans on that. We got backstabbed and dead. I still call shenanigans, but anyway. So we respawned at the bonfire, fought our way through, all the way through the two Insolent Knights and the witches in that room, through Agdane, and then we took on the Undead Crypt. Yep. Well, first thing we did the drop down. So from Agdane's room to the left, there's a drop down. Although we tried to clear out the knights in that little area first, but we're not having it. We tried to get the one by the fall gate, but there was the one underneath the bridge that was lighting at us, and the one by the fall gate was pretty defensive. He didn't want to go pretty far from that gate, and so we ended up just, backtracking, dropping down to the one below. Took care of him. a wall shadow, as well as another invisible hollow. And the one insolent knight that was guarding the fall gate decided to follow us down. So we had a battle on a ledge. It was a precarious little ledge, but we did win. We did get their shields, I think their armor, and maybe another shield or boots. But yep. And picked up the item off the corpse, up the ladder, past the shadow guy on the ladder, which is kind of blah. It's like a guaranteed hit if you're not careful, but up the ladder, took care of the hollow, opened the chest, which we grabbed the cracked eye orb. Yep. Cracked eye orb. If I can find it again. It's up here, maybe. There it is. It made the world of a traitor. Yep. So we'll use that next episode. Yep. And then after that, we drop down, made our way to the fall gate, and we press through the Undead Crypt. Yep. Luckily, force does break the little rocks, so that made it a bit easier. So we just kind of try to clear that little place out of the little sarcophaguses where the Lydia ghosts spawn from. But I don't think we got very far. I think we got killed by one of them, unfortunately. Yep. So again, we started from the beginning again. Went through the Sea Knight, the Imperious Guard, the Lydia Witches. Luckily, the Insolent Knights don't respawn. The Red Phantom ones, they don't respawn, luckily. So you kill them once, and that's it. So we made our way back to that through the fall gate again, into that little area. And this time we took it a bit slowly, cleared out the little sarcophaguses, so to prevent any more Lydia Witches from spawning. And so we just kind of clear that little area out, dealt with the hollows, the skeletons, clear out the sarcophaguses, as well as the ghosts that spawned, grab the various items around, like upgrade materials, soul items, the usual. Then instead of going through the next doorway, we actually went up a ladder in the corner, which led us to a Lydia Witch, as well as another Insolent Knight. Luckily we got the attention of the Knight. So, got the top of the ladder, Knight aggroed, we went down the ladder again, he followed us down, we beat him up. So we went back up the ladder, took care of the witch, opened the chest for some goodies. It's like a dried finger, I think some upgrade materials or such. Not 100% sure what the dried finger does. I assume it allows for multiple Red Phantoms to invade, but it could be wrong. But yep. And so we went back down the ladder, found the bonfire, and the second bonfire was there, in that little room. So, and then we pressed forward, into the next room. Took care of these sarcophaguses. Yep. So now we didn't have to worry about Lydia Witches spawning or Lydia Ghosts spawning in those two rooms again, because those sarcophaguses don't respawn. Yep. So once you destroy them, they're gone. Looted the items. Up the stairs. Grabbed the attention of the other Insolent Knight in that room, because that room is where we get invaded by a nameless usurper. Yep. Nameless usurper. Second invasion spot. She wasn't too hard. Yeah, I think we could hit her with a Sunlight Spear and it did pretty chunky damage. Yeah. So she went down pretty easily. Got an FG for her. There was I think another soul item in that room, as well as the invisible wall, or a fake wall. Yeah. Before it's opposite the way forward. Yeah. And in that room, there's another wall ghost, as well as a chest containing the Avalon. Yep. The Avalon. So now we have a multi-shot crossbow. Probably won't be using it, but it's there if we need it. And after that, we pressed forward. Looks like it was down a hallway with some more wall ghosts, as well as 2 Imperious Knights. Dealt with them. And then came the room. Yeah, this is that one particular room. That little drop down we go into. That room is a pain to deal with. I almost guarantee you're going to die at least once in there. We did, but I almost guarantee it. So we dropped down, took care of the sarcophagus, tried to prevent a hollow from ringing the bell, but that's impossible because there's like 4 of them spawn and they run to the bell when it's not being rung. So you're gonna have to deal with the ghosts. So first priority is at least try to break the rocks and destroy any sarcophagus you can find. 4 of them are around the room. One of them's down one of the branching hallways at a dead end. Yep. But so we dropped down, we took care of the first sarcophagus right in front of us. But we got distracted by a hollow in the hallway, ringing a bell, and we kind of got trapped. Yeah. Like 4 of those ghosts decided to come running at us and trapped us in that hallway. So it was only a matter of time, and we did die. So sad, I know. Yep. And then we spawned. Well, we initially spawned at the beginning of the Undead Crypt, but we fast traveled to the bonfire inside of it. And luckily, since we destroyed all the sarcophaguses, didn't have to worry about them. So we just kind of sprint back towards the hallway with the 2 Imperious Knights and the wall ghosts. And dealt with them. And then we dropped down and cleared out the room properly this time. Yeah, focusing on trying to find the sarcophaguses first. Ignoring the hollows. Yeah, just destroy the sarcophaguses and you'll be fine. Yeah, so once they're all gone, then you can ignore the hollows if you want. Clear out the rooms of the stones and pick up the items strewn about. I think one of the bodies had a insolent mace and a hero soul. I think another one had like an upgrade material. There's a soul item in one of the dead end hallways. I don't quite remember what was there. Yeah, so when we were ready, we found a fake wall in that little room, which revealed a Pharaoh's contraption, which we used a Pharaoh's lockstone to open, which revealed another fake wall on the other side of the room, which had a insolent knight and a chest. Yep. We took care of the insolent knight. Yep, took care of him. Opened the chest to contain. I think it contained the Ulfer's staff. Yeah, it contained the Ulfer's staff. This one, Olin Ford. I think it also contained like a mirror spell. Let me just check real quick. Oh, it contained a Great Lightning Spear as well. Yes, that was in that chest as well. That was definitely a good one to get. But then after that, we press forward, which led us. I'm trying to remember if it led us directly to the other side of the walkway. I think it did. Yes, it led us to the other side of the shortcut, where we dealt with another insolent knight. Hit the lever to open the shortcut. And then after that, we went back to the bonfire to rest up, changed out some of our miracles, and then we came back. There was a chest hidden in the dark just past that insolent knight's, and it contained, I think, a magic stone and a dark knight stone. And after that, we took care of the last main hall. Yeah, the main hall. And the first thing we did is we dropped down from the stairs, because underneath that stairs there's a bell that will awaken Lydia ghosts from permanent sarcophaguses. Yeah, those are giant sarcophaguses you cannot break. Yeah, so they're actually like giant pillars in the room they spawn out of. So yeah. So we dropped down, dealt with the hollow that spawned. Another one came running in, dealt with him. We sat and wait because a third one would crawl from the ground. Yep, that's usually what gets players. So they'll drop down, they'll see the one there, they'll kill it, and then they'll see another hollow coming running towards you and kill him, thinking that's all of it. Nope, there's the third one. The third one comes out from the ground. Yep. So we sat there and waited, just to make sure no others would spawn. Because the last thing you want to do is while trying to fight the Dragon Rider, someone hits the bell, and now have to deal with the Dragon Rider and 4 Lydia ghosts. Yeah, that's not a good time. I will tell you that. But yeah, so before pressing through the room, we killed the invisible hollow in that little bell room. Then we went out to the left, saw the last insolent knight on the left side, used the bow and arrow to get his attention, and then we dealt with him. And then we just kind of skirted the outside the pillars, grabbed the attention of the Lydia ghosts, dealt with them one-on-one. And then we eventually got the attention of the CN Knights. We dealt with them. Yep. And the last thing we did was that we fought the Dragon Rider. Yep. He's a respawning enemy. I'm pretty sure he respawns. Yeah, so the run back to Velstadt is a pain. If you die to Velstadt, that room is a real pain in the ass. Again, sorry about my language, but that room is just a bad room. Especially if you have to run through it just to get to Velstadt. But yep. So with all the enemies dealt with, we lit a torch, kind of did one big circle around the outer edge, found 4 other invisible hollows in that room. And on either side of the stairs leading to Velstadt, there are 4 chests in total. The 2 on the left had a fragrant branch of yore and I forget. It had something. I know one of them was a fragrant branch of yore, so that was definitely probably the best of the 4. The other 2 on the right had, I think, poison throwing knives and a dark night stone. I'm trying to remember what that 4th one had. I guess it had like 4 torches. It might have. I think it had 4 torches, which is okay. But I think that's what was there. If it wasn't in that chest, it was on a body nearby. So, but yep. And after looting that room, we summoned Agdane, and we took on Velstadt, the Royal Aegis. Yep. He could be difficult. I mean, he's not super hard, but he's not easy. He does hit pretty hard. He will buff up about half health. He'll buff up, getting him additional defenses and additional attack power. Again, like Sacred Oath. So, yeah. So we just kind of chucked some sunlight spears at him, some lightning spears at him. Use our poison throwing knives to poison him. But unfortunately, he did defeat Agdane, so yeah, oh well. Agdane wasn't necessary to summon to get his stuff, but we did it anyway because it's probably going to be the only time we'll summon him. It's for that fight, so might as well do it. And what else? And we just kind of slowly but surely took out Velstadt, the Royal Aegis. Yep. Beat him up, got his soul item, and after that we encountered King Vendrick, or at least what became of him. He's a wandering hollow now in that little room. Yep. You can fight him at this stage. You can actually fight him no matter at any point, but I do not recommend it. No, not until you get at least 5 giant souls, because at this point his defenses are, I think right now they're 16 times their normal value. Yeah, so he's going to be, it is possible to beat him, but it's going to take a long time. He has a lot of health for Dark Souls 2 standards, and he hits pretty hard. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he one-tapped us at this point, even with this armor on. Yeah, so he's that dangerous. But again, he's pretty he can be pretty easy as long as you stick to his left leg, or behind his left leg. You should avoid most attacks, but again, if you get hit, you're dead. so he's one of those fights we're going to postpone for now until we get 5 giant souls. But, yeah, but he's there. He's now available to us. Yeah. And we walk past him towards his armor on the ground, and we grab the King's Ring. Yep. So now we have the Ring of the King. Yep. So now we can go back and open those various King's doors if we wanted to. And after that, Emerald Herald showed up. Talked to her real quick. She told us to go to the east, which I'm guessing is through Aldia's Keep. So I guess east is like that way, maybe. That way-ish. But, yep. So we talked with her. We went to Agdane, and we talked to him, where he gave us his armor set and his weapon, Dark Drift, which reminds me. Where are you? There it is. Yep. Robe worn by Agdane of the Undead Crypt. Life itself is suffering or karma, as some have called it. The embrace of death awaits all things. But does death mean the end to suffering? Good question. Is death the actual end of suffering? And we also got Dark Drift. Katana of Grave Warden Agdane. Has a crystal clear blade and a strong attack that slices through enemy shields. This katana was originally wielded by one who gave us the first death. It still exists imperfectly between planes. So apparently Gravelord Nido used a katana. Yep. A very transparent blade. Mm-hmm. Kind of like the Uchi Katana. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's a pure dex weapon. Only scales with dex. And I think it upgrades with Twinkling Titanite, so we'll upgrade it. We might use it. Mm-hmm. It definitely help against the Imperious Knights as they block, but yep, so we got stuff from Agdane, and then after that we went to Stray. I think we came back here. Checked in with the NPCs. The only new ones are Cloan there has an extended inventory, which now sells chunks, some slabs, some twinkly titanite, some petrified dragon bones, and the rest of the infusion stones. Mullen has Velstadt's armor. Kale's map updated. Shalquar now has a new dialogue about how we should go to the east to find a colossal creature who might be something playing parts. And yeah, I think that's the only thing different here. We didn't check with Alicia for reasons we'll find out next episode. After that, we went to Strayed, where we traded Velstadt's soul for Sacred Oath. Yep. And we also see that Strayed now has another copy of Great Lighting Spear as well as Sunlight Blade that we were going to get from him for sure. And then after that, we went to Ornifex to check on his weapon that we could have gotten, but yeah, the giant bell hammer. But and then after that, we came here, and that was it. Yeah, that was it. Really chunky episode, but I wanted to do the Undead Crypt all in once, because, yeah. Yes, yeah. Undead Crypt, now it's behind us. And we did the hard one. We did it the hard way, yeah. It didn't want to be that hard. We should not have lit that one sconce that lit up the Undead Crypt, spawning all those insolent knights. But we wanted their stuff. I think we got most of it. I think the only thing we didn't get is their gloves. That's the Imperious gloves there. Yeah, I don't think we got their gloves. No. We got their armor. Yep. We also got their helmet. As well as their leggings, I believe. Yeah, insolent boots. We also got their shield and their mace. So the only thing we didn't get is their gloves. So, oh well. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We also got a fragrant branch of yore from one of them, which is a pretty rare draw from them. So that's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah. So now I think we have plenty of fragrant branches for the rest of it. And we need at least one more for Aldia's Keep, probably two. I think we need another one for Dragon Ares. I think that's really all that we needed. So we should have plenty for all the last petrified enemies or statues we want unpetrified, but yeah, so yeah, we did Undead Crypt the hard way. Yeah. But so next episode we'll probably be doing some odds and ends. Yep, we'll have to deal with the Crushed Eye Orb. We'll go through at least one of the. We'll go through two of the King's Gate. We'll go through the one in the Forest of the Giants, because there's a bonfire just past that. But beyond that, there's only like a Twinkling Titanite, I think, is back there. That's it. That's all we could do in the forest. The other King's Gate we're going to open is the one in Drangelic Castle. That leads to the final boss arena, because there is a boss fight we can do there, and that's probably going to be the only thing we can do there. We will do that boss fight. I don't want to get it out of the way because it's annoying. I'm pretty sure we can summon Benhard for it, and if we do, it'll be his third summon, so that will finish up his little quest line, hopefully. Yep. And there's probably one other thing I can't think of right now. We'll do the Cracked Eye Orb, the King Gate there, King Gate's there. There's probably something I'll think of, but yeah, next episode again is going to be odds and ends. Odds and ends. Yeah. But again, that is for another episode, and I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.